So I've mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the biggest film watcher any longer, or shall I say, I don't watch new films that get released, and I don't think I'm alone when I say that. Films just aren't what they used to be, and then on top of that, you get this constant political propaganda sprinkled into every single film. Literally every single film that's released today has to include it. They just insist on making it political. They just have to make the seals clap. Otherwise, they just can't function. They can't make a film without including it. And you don't even have to watch the films themselves, right? Or the trailers, because as soon as they drop, they make the headlines. Just like this new trailer that has just come out from Sony promoting their upcoming film Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, we are in a different universe, that is for sure. But as soon as the trailer dropped, people quickly noticed this poster that was on the wall of one of the characters' rooms. I believe it was Gwen Stacy, and the poster says protect trans kids. Now, I don't know, given the whole severity of this issue, why they thought this was a good idea or a great look, because I think I speak on the behalf of many people here. Trust me, it is not. Let's be honest about this, right? Let's just tell it how it is. You including this in your trailer, your film, is conveying the message that you agree with the idea of kids getting gender-affirming care. Hormone blockers, surgeries, making irreversible changes to their bodies. This is a very intense debate for many because loads of people are learning about what it actually entails now and how harmful it can be. And the argument people are making towards this, as they always do when you talk about anything political within films, they always say, well, it's just a film. You get offended by anything these days. You're so easily offended, which is funny because that's coming from the side that get offended over the wind blowing in a different direction. Oh, it's just in the background. You can hardly see it. Well, firstly, people noticed it quite quickly, and it's not just in the background though, is it? Because it's an animation, right? You don't just put it in the background. You have to create this, etc., etc. It would have been approved. It would have been greenlit by many people, and all the people that agree with it being in the film also like the idea of kids getting gender affirming care. Make the argument to me, right, for anybody that disagrees with me, which you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to start crying, but make the argument to me. Why does that need to be in there? Why? They could have easily not had that in there. Why is it in the film if it's not for a political agenda to normalize all of these things? It's literally everywhere now. Every single film has to include something. Not even films. Music, TV shows, social media, trains, everywhere includes something political. It's like, as I said, these people just cannot help themselves. It's like an addiction to them. And oh, by the way, I almost forgot, Miles Morales, the main character now, has a BLM badge on his school bag, and his dad is a black cop. I'm willing to bet there will be some political conflict there throughout the film. Welcome to woke Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, where everything goes and people stand for nothing.
Oh, it's disgusting!
Anyway, moving on to a more light-hearted topic, I just want to speak about this because of how insane it is. There is a viral clip coming out of Canada where allegedly some people want to introduce a new bill that would prosecute anyone that misgendered, criticized, or protested against transgenderism. Anyone deemed transphobic, homophobic, or offensive would face prosecution and a $25,000 fine. So I think it's fair to say, if this bill gets passed, which I've read it's not going to, it's very unlikely, it's never going to happen, which doesn't surprise me. But this is a very crazy world right now. Who knows what's going to happen next? But if it did get passed, I think it's fair to say none of us will be taking a trip to Canada anytime soon, right? Paying $25,000 seems to be a pretty expensive investment, for words coming out of our mouths, if you ask me. I mean, how do you even quantify something like this? How do you quantify what is deemed transphobic, homophobic, offensive? Because those terms are so broad now, literally every single thing comes underneath them. You'd be raking in millions. Maybe that's a plan. Or maybe it's to slowly but surely put us into this state of forced compliance. Take a watch.
This new legislation in Ontario is designed to keep the 2S LGBT community safe. Drag artists, their audiences, the business, and the facilities that host those drag performances have been put at risk. And unless we put forward a strategy to protect them, Ontario's social, economic, and cultural richness is under attack. We have to protect that. The proposed legislation does two things, and I will go through them. Firstly, it enables the Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI+ community safety zone to prohibit within 100 meters of the property any homophobic, transphobic act of intimidation, threat, offensive threats, offensive remarks, protest, disturbance, and distribution of hate propaganda within the meaning of the criminal code. It also comes with it a penalty of $25,000 if prosecuted successfully. Secondly, the Act creates an Ontario 2S LGBTQI+ Safety Advisory Committee to provide recommendations to the provincial government on how to improve safety for our community and to prevent further hate.
It's just good to see, right? And you'll probably agree with me. It's just good to see some people in Canada are using their time very wisely to address all the burning issues. You know, prices are rising, gas is rising, things aren't quite right in the world, but no, don't worry about any of that, because we need to find people who misgender certain people and offend people for literally saying common sense, things that would be deemed common sense 10 years ago. By the way, that's what they're focusing on. No. It's great, really is. I just don't understand how we've reached this point. I really don't. I wish, honestly, sometimes I could wake up and things would just go back to normal. Things are so insane right now, and it's clear to see, you know, the side that's all about love is love and inclusivity want to silence people who have a different opinion. Sounds very be kind like to me. I mean, the lineup on this stage anyway is pretty impressive, if you ask me. You know, they got drag queens, people still wearing masks even though there's other people on stage not wearing masks. I saw a tweet on Twitter where somebody said, if you watch this with no audio, it literally looks like an SNL skit. I think if people from 50, 60 years ago saw this, they would laugh at our pain right now. But that is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed today. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Make sure to always have a great day and stay safe. I'm out. Peace.